Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome back. It's 8:44 a.m. South African time, of course. We will be crossing over to Durban, but before we do that, some great news, and that is the upcoming Discover AXA tour. It is the 2026 tour where limited seats are available. This is happening between the 4th and the 15th of July, and it is during the school holidays. Departure date is the 4th of July. Arrival back in South Africa is the 15th of July, and the spiritual guide is Maulana Musa Akudi. The package includes return flights via Ethiopian Airlines ex-Johannesburg. Breakfast, supper and transfers are included. Expert tour guides in 4-star hotels, 3 to 4 nights in Jordan, 7 nights in Aqsa in the Old City. And of course, you'll also be exploring the historic Petra Caves, the Wadi Rum and Amman. The price is $39,900 per person sharing. Book now. You can contact us here at Salam Media on 081 717 2300 or Ayub Dadabai on 082 786 0078. It's exactly 8:45 a.m. and we are now joined by Humanitarian Abdullah Parak in KZN, and we're going to be talking about the people that are at Sherwood Park. And of course, there is a dire need for foodstuff. Perhaps other needs as well, but Abdullah Parak is going to talk to us about the situation. Abdullah, assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the program.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi.
I understand you are a humanitarian. You are now currently involved trying to get aid, much needed aid, especially foodstuff, for approximately 6,000 people. I presume these are the Malawians before they are repatriated. What is the current situation there, and how is it that, alhamdulillah, by the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you are now involved here trying to help these people?
Okay, so I was taking a drive for Fajr on Monday morning, and I saw there was some SAPs and POP vehicles that were parked at the Sherwood Park. Being a member of the Westville CPF, I approached them and asked them what is going on. And they said that these people came to the police station seeking refuge and safety, and SAPs thereafter told them to go and wait in the Sherwood Park. And from there, well, the situation snowballed to where we are now. Alhamdulillah, we had Cas Malani on site on Monday morning. Cas Malani is with WMO, and he's been doing feeding for many years to the homeless. So he set up something small there that's now gone into something very big. And the feeding part of it has somewhat been sorted out by the local community. There's one thing that I just need to make very, very clear is there is no money, no tax money being used here. This is community money and donations from the public only.
You are talking about 6,000 people that need food till they are repatriated. We also understand that there are more than 7,800 people there on site, with the numbers continuing to rise. And this is really alarming, I might add. You trying with other people as well, other humanitarian people, I should imagine, individuals and organizations, trying to make certain that these people are fed. What about other amenities, Abdullah? What does the situation look like? I'm thinking babies. I'm thinking that if they aren't, if proper hygiene isn't being carried out, we're going to be sitting with a whole lot of people that become terribly sick.
Okay, so one of the things that is very urgent, and this is a request out there to any medical association, if they could please set up something on scene, on site, to assist those that are sick. There are many, many infants on there, and mothers and sick people. We had to wait approximately 3 hours for an ambulance to arrive on on Friday evening. And this was for a mother with a few day old infant. And 3 hours. She had to wait 3 hours for the ambulance. So if we can get a medical team out there, that would be amazing. In regards to the other hygiene products, obviously nappies, baby food, infant food, and sanitary pads is something that is required. There are individuals that are bringing in as much as they can. However, this is always something that would be required going forward.
Abdullah, I am aware of the fact that you are a humanitarian and not a politician. But I do need to ask, there are clearly concerns with that many people confined in such a, small space. We've talked about the hygiene issues as well, and the fact that we need a medical team on site till the people are repatriated. I'm kind of wondering, I've heard that the majority of the people there at Sherwood Park are documented immigrants. Why do you suppose they've decided to leave as well? If they have the necessary documentation, are they fearing that they might be targets of xenophobic attacks?
So I chatted with a couple of people yesterday, and that was my exact question to them, that guys, if you have your papers, why is it that you're wanting to leave, or why is it that you're here making your way out? A lot of them have been renting places in Bonella, in Clare Estate. There's people that's from as far as Port Shepstone that I've spoken to personally that are now at the Sherwood Park. And the reason that they are leaving is because they have been threatened. They've been threatened quite a few times, and even their landlords have been threatened as well. And they were told by some vigilante groups that come the 16th of June, this is according to the information I've gotten from them, 16th of June, they will burn them and their landlords' properties, with them inside or without them inside, should they continue to live there.
How seriously do we take such warnings? Do you believe that the locals are so incensed regarding their own situations that they will lash out and really degrade to a situation of xenophobia?
My personal opinion, and again, I need to reiterate, this is my personal opinion. It has nothing to do with, I'm not a politician. I don't think it's the large masses of our locals. I think it's just breakaway groups that have taken this as taken advantage of this situation. And the criminal elements are basically who are operating within the informal settlements and in places where the foreign workers have been residing. So they've gone in, a lot of them have been robbed already as well for whatever belongings they've had. So some of them had to leave from their dwellings and make their way for safety to the Sherwood Park, because that's what they assume is the place of safety currently. And a lot of them have lost everything. Whatever they could run away with is what they've come with.
Someone's just posted something, David Maloba, why to you? He says, this condition you guys are referring to is common to them in this hijacked buildings in town. I suppose the reference here is really about, and I think that is the narrative, that it's foreigners that occupy hijacked buildings and create the very unsavory conditions and for the degradation of the buildings and the areas. How do you see that?
I cannot comment on that at all. As I said, I just pitched up there on Monday morning and somehow got involved in coordinating between the different departments, between the different humanitarian organizations, and yeah, that's it. I cannot comment on the degradation of buildings, hijacked buildings in town.
Okay, I did make it quite clear right at the beginning of the interview that you are not a politician. Alhamdulillah, you are a humanitarian, and Allah accept all of your efforts.
Amen.
Okay, someone else is just posted something. This is an overseas guest, Abdul Razak Ismailov. I think he's from somewhere in Eastern Europe, a regular contributor to this program. Let me just read out his message. He says, one pressing need is to lay down the law, which should start by putting the Dudula and March thugs into prison. Thank you for that comment, Abdul Razak. But I do know that Abdullah Parak is not able to respond to that because, as he has stressed over and over again, he is here talking to us in a humanitarian capacity. But thank you. We take note of your comment. Coming back to Abdullah, with having almost 7,500 to 8,000 people in this very tiny park, well, it's not that tiny, but in this park is going to create another problem as well. I see some pictures being flashed on screen. There will be a lot of refuse that will be left behind after they leave. We do hope and pray that local government will be able to deal with that as well. But the people, the most pressing issue here is the medical needs, and of course, the people that need to be fed for the time they are here. What we also know is that up to now, only 450 people have been processed by Home Affairs to get onto those buses supplied by the Malawian government to go back home. Why? We're sitting with almost 8,000 people and there's only 450 people that have been processed thus far. Did Home Affairs not expect the situation at all?
Okay, so it was a shock for every department, right? And I must commend our government staff, Home Affairs, Immigration, SAPS, Metro, the mayor's office, our local ward councillor. Everyone has been on scene, on site, doing their part. So the numbers are a little bit off. Our estimate, well, my estimate is there are 10,000 displaced people there. Yesterday, 550 people left from the Sherwood Park. And I could be wrong on that number, please forgive me. And there was another bus of 80 that left from the Umgeni Road Home Affairs. And this is where I want to just stress on our Home Affairs officials. I got a call from an official there at Home Affairs to say that we've got a bus that's leaving. These people are going to be on the bus for 3 days. There is no food for them to take, no water for them to take. There's absolutely nothing for them to take with them on this 3-day journey. And Alhamdulillah, with making a couple of calls, and we actually sent out 2 vehicles, arrived at the same time to give these people food to go on their journey. It's look, I mean, it's we all have this perception that government officials are lazy and they don't do their jobs and things like that. They've been working 12-hour shifts there from 8 to 8. Actually, 8 to 8 is the official time of the shift. This morning, they left at 2 a.m. A few of the officials finished their paperwork and left at 2 a.m. So I think everyone should also realize that and give credit where it's due. There's a lot of players involved and everyone is doing their job. People are working overtime. Our local colonel from the local police station has said that, she's been on scene for a long time. And I joked with her and I told her, well, at least you're getting paid for it. And she says, no, my overtime, it's not, I'm not on overtime anymore. I'm here on my personal capacity. So I think everyone should give all of the officials credit where it's due.
So Abdullah, I'm kind of wondering, we're talking about documented workers that have opted to leave simply because they fear for their lives and the lives of their families. What do you suppose, what type of a vacuum are they leaving behind? our youth and our locals complain about unemployment. Do you think that they will readily fill those gaps?
There's going to be some training that's going to have to take place with the local youth. I suppose, I've got local youth that work for me. I've got somebody who left in high school that's working for me, and he's working very, very well. But it took him approximately 6 months to be trained to the point where he can carry out the work himself. And I think all businesses should actually look at empowering our local youth. They always should have, but now is the point where there's no other alternative.
So we're talking about a very sad situation here. People that probably have been here for 5, 10 and longer in the country. They are documented, but because of the current situation, these people have chosen to to go home. What is your plea to the community regarding feeding these people till they are all repatriated? And once the numbers, approximately 10,000 is your thumbsuck figure, once they've been cleared out of Sherwood Park, do you think you're going to see another influx of people coming there, immigrants? Or do you think the people of Durban will be done regarding immigrants in your part of the country?
I have absolutely no idea. I cannot answer that. That's left to the relevant departments and politicians to answer that question.
Okay, what is your, you are talking with me this morning because there's a specific need and you want to put out a plea to our communities. What would that be?
As I said from the beginning, our largest need right now, our most urgent need, is to have a medical team on site, on standby, and basically whatever people can send through daily necessities, hygiene products, nappies, sanitary pads, and whatever food that can be sent through there should be sent through. It's a lot of people to feed, and the more people that actually do contribute, it makes things easier. It lessens the burden of the larger organizations that are doing their very best to sort things out.
Absolutely. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept all of your efforts. I think it's really, really big-hearted of you, and I'm sure many others like you that are on site to help all of these people waiting to be repatriated. It's a situation that never should have come to pass, but sadly our corrupt government has allowed for this to happen. Thank you indeed for your input, for all of your support, for the fact that you're out there helping the neediest of the needy, and go well. We do hope that this happens speedily so that we don't see a replication of a similar situation, not only in Durban, but in other parts of the country. Assalamu alaikum to you.
Wa alaikum salam.
I can't help wondering, whilst I was talking to Abdullah Parak, that he was lauding local authorities, he was lauding people in the Department of Home Affairs, the police services, Metro Department, etc. And I too, say, well done, guys, you were there when you were needed. But I hasten to add, this situation should never have happened. And we need to hold organizations like March and March to account. We need to hold Cyril Ramaphosa directly. We need to hold him to account for uttering what he did last week by saying that immigrants should go back to their country, illegal immigrants. And here we find that the people at Sherwood Park, the majority of them are Malawians, and they are all documented. So why should they be going back home? Simply because they've been threatened. If they remain on in South Africa, they are going to be lynched. They are going to be killed. They're not going to be allowed to stay here. And the places that they've rented, they've been threatened will be burned down, including the landlords that are renting out to foreigners, their homes and businesses too would be burned down. Why is government still silent on this matter? Cyril Ramaphosa, you need to come out and you need to make another statement to the people of South Africa. And you need to say that people like March and March who are inciting the violence will be brought to task. We can't allow anarchy. This is going to lead to anarchy in the country. So our politicians need to take responsibility. They should be doing the right thing. And has anybody stopped to ask the question, very especially as far as documented immigrants are concerned, who is going to fill that gap? Do you think our locals are going to fill it? I think not. Our locals want high-paying jobs which they're not even qualified to fill. Once again, in that situation, government has failed our youth. When the new government came into power, they did not produce what they promised. They fell flat on their election promises. Jobs are not available. Healthcare services are crumbling. Infrastructure is crumbling like you can't believe. There's decay like you can't believe. Just go to any town or city center, go into the Johannesburg CBD, and you will see how shockingly the place is degrading. And of course, don't think the suburbs are any better off. We have continuous problems with power issues, either electricity or water, on an ongoing basis. If the water is not interrupted, the electricity has been interrupted. So how do you expect businesses, very especially small businesses, to operate, to thrive, to create opportunities, to create more jobs for unemployed people? It ain't going to happen. It won't happen till corruption is addressed from local right up to national government. And clearly, if there aren't any jobs, you're going to have disillusioned and disenfranchised youth. And that is a recipe for disaster. So government, Cyril Ramaphosa and the ANC, don't use delaying tactics because local elections are around the corner. Don't think you are appeasing the masses by saying immigrants must go back home. Immigrants are not your problem. Large-scale corruption in all spheres of government is the problem. It is exactly 9:07. This is News and Views on Salam Media.
Soweto, it's time to stand together for justice, peace and solidarity. Join us for the annual Soweto Walk for Gaza, taking place on Saturday, the 20th of June at 7:30 a.m. The walk will begin at the historic Regina Mundi Church and proceed to the monumentous Dlamini Mosque, bringing together people of all faiths, backgrounds and communities in a powerful show of unity and support. Bring your family, friends and fellow residents as we walk together for a common cause. Let your voice be heard and your presence counted. That's the annual Soweto Walk for Gaza, Saturday the 20th of June at 7:30 in the morning, starting at Regina Mundi Church and ending at Dlamini Mosque. Together we walk, together we stand, together we show solidarity.